New money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me? 6 figures, 5 shows, big ballin'. Look, I'm very important. I took a break, had some things I had to get sorted. I might retire in my prime like I'm M. Jordan. Table dancing in Southampton. Use the glasses for Vanish. Be cooling out in the whip, but I done near every girl on my list. KD at the 3, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Spieth at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club and these dirty.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Arizona Cardinals. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Hey, Silver.
Now the dual threat man, this is DJ Foster. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Foles. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
We go.
They keep it with Fournette on 1st down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Foster on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Greg.
Now Foles. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's picked by the linebacker, T.J. Watt. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Jonathan Hankins in on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Hackenberg on 2nd down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now the former Notre Damer, this is C.J. Procise. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Hackenberg on 3rd and 2. And it's complete to Kelsey. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Cardinals into the red zone for the first time. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Now it's Breida. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the
pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Foles in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Back-to-back sacks have this place in a frenzy as they line up again 3rd and long now. And instead they want to throw it off play action. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Following the interception, here's Hackenberg. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. A 2nd down carry for Procise. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
On 3rd down, Hackenberg. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They'll start on the ground with Foster. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A 1st down carry for Foster. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's it, baby.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back to throw. Well, he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Gone!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, Hackenberg. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On play action, it's Hackenberg. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
A give. This is Foster. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning. To go here in the first half. More from the desert after this. On the counter, it's Foster. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Dayon Buchanan in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. And this a 39-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So not sure how they feel about that. They had golden field position to start the drive after the fumble recovery, but they went backward and then got 3.
Well, let's go from gold to silver, because the silver lining is they got the 3, right? You were talking about the golden field position. They didn't take advantage of it. That has to feel like a letdown.
You always stand ready to pounce. Always. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoff.
And got his man complete. And they're able to get this way down there inside the Tampa 20. A big play there just before halftime. 59 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Hackenberg. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? This is Breida, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. PAT up and good by Rosas. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. They'll throw now on the final play. Now a hit and falls, loses the football. It's out. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
They just had to hold on to the ball.
Huge play for the defense. What a turn of events. They get the fumble return for a touchdown, the last play of the first half.
And how about the defense providing the score, amping up not just themselves, but the entire team as they head into the locker room.
And does that change the locker room speech at half?
There shouldn't be much of a speech necessary now. They've got things going their way.
So we reach halftime here in Glendale with the Cardinals on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Here we go, second look. Second call.
They'll start on the ground with Breida, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
While that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently, but that doesn't necessarily mean you just go to the pass and do nothing else.
Off the play fake, Hackenberg. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On first down, Procise. And some space here. Room to run inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. First down, Hackenberg. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They go play action. Hackenberg. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 yards through the air and a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Play fake. Hackenberg. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Christian Covington. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Lucky 56.
Now Hackenberg. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll hand off to Foster. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Dayon Buchanan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Hackenberg from the gun on 3rd. Under pressure there, and Hackenberg is sacked. K'Wan Short in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
Here's Foles. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet and make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Hackenberg looks to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And the catch made by Hilton. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. Here's Breida. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cardinals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Play action now. Hackenberg. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays? Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is. But how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Here we go.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Melvin Ingram in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Foles. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
The Bucs on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Foles escapes the defender. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on third down. And he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a first down.
Broke the one tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Able to find Harris, complete. And he's going to get this deep onto Arizona's side of the field. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the 4th quarter, plays like that.
They took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't they?
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. Now we're going to get a stoppage here as we've got an injured Cardinal on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They run with Logan. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Oh, surprise. Hackenberg looks to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go!
Here's Hackenberg. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game. Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team. Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. It was DJ Swearinger right there on the coverage. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The Bucs on third down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. That's Morgan. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
19 feet.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.